Hey everybody, just quickly stepping in here to let you know that in this video, you guys will be seeing the day of my art show, the day that I got to go and do the art event, a little bit of vlog aspect at the front, and then afterwards I'm gonna talk about the tips and tricks and learnings that I had from that event. So stay tuned, I hope you enjoy. Good morning everybody, it is currently Sunday and it is the day of my art vending. I'm really excited. On Friday, we drove back into town, used that time to rest, chill, whatever. And then on Saturday, I got everything that I needed to get done completed. I cut out stickers with a little bit of help. I cut art prints, printed prints, and put together the rest of my display. And I thought it was gonna take like literally all night. I got done around like maybe 5-ish, but overall very pleased with how it all turned out. And I actually was scared thinking I wasn't going to fill up my entire display, and I've actually filled up the entire thing. So that is a treat. And so yeah, right now I think it is 8:30-ish a.m. and I'm hoping we can probably get in as early as like 9 a.m. to start setting up. So we will see about that. Also want to stop by and get some trick-or-treat candy, so that way when people come around we can also give them some candy, since it is a trick-or-read Halloween creator event. What else? Yeah, we're just gonna go through the day. You'll be able to see my display. There are some things that I'm trying not to be a perfectionist. There are some things that I would like to do a little bit differently next time around. That being said, I still think that is a very suitable display that I'm very excited about, and excited to see it take its full form. So yeah, I will be setting that up, and then we're just gonna see, and I'll probably have some thoughts shortly afterwards on like things that did work well, things that didn't, so that way I can kind of work my way up. But as you can tell, I'm kind of tired, but nothing a cup of coffee can't fix.
Days feel lazy, which days it may be. I've been slacking off. Days feel like daydreams, why my memory hazy? Where'd it go so wrong? When you ask how I've been doing, I think I'd really rather say I've been feeling fine. It's easier to say that I'm alright, but lately I've been looking for a sign. Doing this right. I've been feeling fine. It's not easy to say what's on my mind, so lately I've been losing track of time. Doing this right. In my mind for days, can't stop, won't stop, vision like a haze, beating up with a shame, at a loss of words what to say, so just gotta pick up the pace, only one in the race, well, gotta save face, gotta stop the chase, confidence is place, ignorance my taste, no, nah, I'm getting sick of being average, can't be a bare minimum, it's tragic, yeah, I gotta make my family live lavish, so when I work, you know I'm a savage, what do I do when shit get ugly, I don't wanna say these thoughts, just trust me, that'll be fine when I make more money, that'll be fine if nobody, I've been feeling fine. It's easier to say that I'm alright, but lately I've been looking for a sign. Doing this right. I've been feeling fine. It's not easy to say what's on my mind, so lately I've been losing track of time. Doing this right.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm at the end of this section area, but
Awesome.
yeah, no, I've always seen the art, and I'm like, these comics look so good. What is it? Kind of reminds me of like that cover reminds me of Vinland.
Yeah, Vinland Saga. I love Vinland
Yeah.
Saga. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Vinland Saga, Berserk, a lot of FMA as well. But
Yeah.
I don't know if that shows. But
Yeah, I
read
see
it,
the
I think you can
influences.
see.
What's this one?
That's my 2019 art book. It's got a bunch of my old commissions, some of my Marvel work, and early development work for Fiendish. And this is my convention exclusive spicy art book. And it's had a prequel for like a elf fantasy girl art book I'm going to do next year.
Oh, that's so cool. We're looking through that. Yo.
Actually, Michael
Getting
did
all these cool tables. Hey, I recognize them.
She's real fun to draw.
I know. I love how you guys, like, we all kind of did some, was it K-pop Demon Hunter art?
Oh god, it's my favorite movie of the year.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you know the books, yeah. Okay, so it's not the first time before. Well, it's how he got the vibranium for the suit. Okay.
So we know Wolverine's coming. We know all that's gonna happen because we got all this.
Like stuff like that, and then, you know, maybe the lore and the plot like kind of uncover themselves. But for me, like, I always like to have like kind of a multi-chapter epic. So I just can't help but like put so much into it, pour so much into it. But I mean, that might be something that helps it. You know. Hey everybody, I hope that you enjoyed a glimpse at how the day went. It was a very fun day. Some friends stopped by to support, and it was really cool connecting with fellow artists and just meeting more people in the community. So yeah, that was a really fun local artist event. It was held in a comic book and hobby shop. So it was a kind of like smaller venue, but I still felt like there were a lot of people who really like stopped through and were curious. I want to say 3 things that were key takeaways from my very first like official tabling. So the first thing is talking about the display. So I think my display turned out really great. It was very cute. It was something that I felt with a lot of research, I was able to put together something that was eye-catching, something that grabbed people's attention. I do think that moving forward, I can definitely bump that up a notch. So for example, with an eye-catching display, something that I've heard has a lot to do with having a clear branding and a clear color scheme. So I actually had bought the grid panels, these stackable panels. Those turned out great, but I don't think that they are as consistent as I would hope. I'm still keeping the grid panels, but I also, in addition, bought some pink plastic panels to hook with my display. So my next display is probably going to look a little different. I also think that my display probably could have been wider. I was really scared that I wasn't going to be able to fill up the space, but I was. And I actually feel like my display was a little cramped when it comes down to how I had my art presented. So knowing now like how big a 6-foot table is and how much space my display took up on that, I know a little better now how to utilize my space and be economical with it. So I think that turned out well. Another thing regarding the display, I've heard that you want somebody to be able to look and completely understand the messaging on your display without you even having to tell them. That's not to say, of course, that you don't want to be able to talk to people to clarify things, but I do think that the price tags, the just overall information, I think I could probably bump that up more. That way, there is a lot of clear communication on pricings and whatnot. But yeah, overall, I think that having a clear color scheme, the branding as well. So with those two things, I've decided that my color scheme, I'm going to stick with the pink and purple, and then also using white as kind of an accent. So hopefully by the next event, I'll be able to get a purple cloth, tablecloth, and then also the stackable panels that I got, the plastic ones, are pink. So I'm gonna kind of stay in that zone. And of course my signage was also pink and purple, so I think that really connects. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to talk about is how much I made. So these numbers are, I would say, fairly vague. I was able to track the receipts for a lot of stuff, but certain things I did not, I was not able to find. So I will say, going through the price breakdown, how much I spent and how much I made from that day. So how much I spent, the table for this event was free. The only reason that was free was because it was something that was through a local comic creator group that I'm a part of, and you really just had to volunteer to be a part of it. So that's a great thing. You know, having a community of creatives locally, they could be able to tell you about events that are nearby that you can go to that have either a low or no cost just by knowing the person. So that's always great. Laminate sticker paper. So that, oh, and then paper in general. So paper I use to print things on. Those I got off of Amazon, and that came out to around $15.99 altogether. Various supplies, which I realize now I did not write. I only wrote the prices down. Oh, these are the table display items. So things like the grid panels, the trays, the standees, all the good stuff. The thing that cost the most was my neon sign. So the neon sign, that was about $39.99. The panels were $28.79. Other miscellaneous tools like precision scissors, things like that. Now, the thing that cost the most money, and it should be no surprise, was the ink. The ink I had to buy 2 different times. The first time I bought the color and black and white combo pack. That was about $81.99, and then the second time I had to buy ink, I completely ran out of color ink, so I had to buy a new cartridge. That was $52.07. And annoyingly, the ink is, I guess my printer is like older now, where the only place I can buy the ink locally is at one specific staple store. So that's kind of annoying. For this upcoming one, I'm leaning on getting my stuff printed, like the stickers and the prints. I'm thinking about just completely outsourcing that. I'm very curious to see the price comparison, because one is convenience and then the other one is more control but takes up more time. So I think the great thing about, you know, spending money on this stuff is that after you spend money on the stuff, other than minor improvements, you really don't have to buy anything else. So I already have so many display items to put this together. So at this point, it's like I'm just kind of adding and tweaking and whatnot. So I feel like supplies, and specifically table display supplies. Oh my God. I think that those are probably things that are going to take the biggest chunk out of my bank account. I spent about $300. Now, of course, that was not $300 in one sitting. That was $300 over the course of, you know, multiple paychecks and whatnot. And also some of the things I kind of already had. So like, for example, the sticker paper, I did already have that. Or actually, that meant I had to have less quantity of items. So my inventory, kind of low, just because I didn't really know how much, like, how many prints one cartridge would yield, stuff like that. Now, how much I made? About average, I made $164.12 from one day, and it was from, I want to say it was from 10 a.m. to 4. I think that's very good. And the reason I say that is because I had, I want to say, a 50-50 split of fan art and original content. So I'll talk about that more in a moment. Right, so that means I made a little over half back from what I put together. And in one sitting, $164, that's a good amount. Like that's groceries, at least it's half of a grocery bill. So yeah, I would call that a success. In combination with talking to people, networking, and, you know, just spreading awareness of what I have going on, I would say that was a very good day. At this moment in time, the way I see it is kind of like free money, for lack of a better word. It is spending money to make money to then reinvest in what you have. It becomes kind of a cycle. And if I can have this subsection of my income be solely for art and that not have to tap into, you know, my daily bills, expenses, things like that, I am fine with that. So at this moment, as you're kind of like getting the ball rolling, it does kind of seem like, oh, well, I didn't make enough money to break even or make enough money to make more than what I spent. But at the same time, if you're kind of cycling that investment into each other, you know, that makes it where it's a hobby that kind of funds itself. It is a side hustle that is continuously funding itself. All right, and so the last learning, the third thing that came to mind was definitely the divide between, you know, having fan art versus OC art or original art. And I will just say this. I feel like fan art will always dominate the artist alley space. I think that it is, as fans ourselves, we are drawn and pulled towards things that we like. And if we have the ability and the artistic skill to draw these characters and these fandoms, then we're gonna do it. I would say though, I personally feel I don't want to completely cast aside my original art just because making fan art can make more money and quicker. I have, you know, my Space Ultima story. I have other OCs, other character designs that I have that I'm going to be working on. And, you know, a lot of people might be questioning, well, I only have a comic or I draw so much original content where I don't think anybody's going to want it. I don't think anybody's going to be interested in it. And I would definitely say to give yourself much more credit, because if somebody sees the original character in a art piece or a context that they resonate with, they're gonna buy that piece. I have bought plenty of art that was not a fandom attached character. I have bought plenty of art that is just pretty and beautiful. And I think that if you want people to buy art of your characters, then put them in poses and scenes that people like, that are just either cozy or interesting or spectacular. I will show you an example. I bought this and it spoke to me. It is the most random piece. It is random, but it's not, because I see this and, like I said, it resonates with me. It is this beautiful piece of a girl who has a little dragon dog right there. And she has just picked up a pizza from her local Pizza Hut. You've got this beautiful mountain vista in the background, and it's life. Like, you know, you look at this and you just kind of get lost in it. And for me, and I talked to the artists more, I'll put them in the description and also put them up on the screen because right now I'm blanking on who it is. But I looked at this and I was like, this reminds me of my childhood. I was like, and I talked to her, she was like, oh yeah, like this is like basically a local Pizza Hut that was in my city when I was a kid. And I was like, yeah, like as people who are, you know, in the more millennial side, we remember when buildings had character. We remember when buildings, you know, their literal building is the logo. Now everything is so like boxy and cubey and square, but there was a time where buildings had character and were really interesting. And seeing this reminded me of my childhood, how, you know, we would go to Blockbuster or go to the video store, rent some DVDs, and then stop next door, get some dinner, and then go home and watch movies and stuff. And she has like this character who also has like a little bit of like magical realism attached to it with her cool dragon dog. And it's like, this is something that is not attached to necessarily an IP or a fandom. It is just something that is a scene that looks really cool that she was moved to draw. So that's why I'm saying, it's like, I think that if you have more OC, more original ideas for your artwork, don't steer away from that. If anything, just kind of try and paint it in a way that people can look at it without having any background knowledge of your lore, any knowledge of who these characters are, but can like just look at it and think, oh my God, I love the colors, or I love what they're wearing. Maybe like a high fashion print. Maybe if your characters take place in like a fantasy, or even take place in like kind of an olden time era, maybe your character in like an art print of what they would wear in like some really regal time period. I definitely intend to make more like kind of like sci-fi high fashion outfits with my characters and put them together in something like that. So yeah, never try to like, you know, force yourself, especially if it's like a short amount of time. Don't try to force yourself to push out every single fandom that you've ever known to exist, or even any fandom that is like new, like the newest anime and whatnot. If you're like driven to, then definitely do it. Like for me, I saw Chainsaw Man Reize arc, and I am now moved to draw some fan art of it. So if it's something that you like really connect with, then definitely draw it. But if you already have so much OC and original artwork that you think does work as a print, then definitely give it a shot. So that is what I have to say about my very first time setting up for a art vending event. Like I said, I think that it turned out really well, and I'm really excited to see what the upcoming one has to offer. Artist Alley Atlanta on November 29th and the 30th. Definitely check it out. It is something that, in my opinion, and I think it falls on Small Business Saturday. I'm pretty sure that's why they did that. But if you are tired of waiting for long delivery times, or if you even want to get something that really connects and that you think your friends and family will actually love, that's not a generic item, but is actually an item from like a fandom or something that they really enjoy, then definitely stop by. That way you can get something that is so personal to them. But if you enjoy this video, please do subscribe to the channel. It means so much. 100% free and 100% supports me with all that I am doing. And keep an eye out, because of course there is going to be some work to do setting up for the November event. So I'll be posting some videos of me working on that, hanging out, chillaxing. So if you like that vibe, then definitely subscribe. And if you like this video, definitely like it. But that is gonna be all from me today. I will see you guys later. Bye.